Hello everybody. So if you are looking for the perfect drum to start playing with, then I want to give you a little bit of information so you know exactly how to make the best choice for you. I have 4 drums here with me now. I have more at home. I'm away at the moment because I like to play with all different textures and tonalities and that sort of thing. But if you're looking for just the first one to start with or the next one to start with, then I want to give you a little bit of information on different styles, brands, tonalities, textures, so that you can make a decision that feels good for you. So in my course, Drum and Song Academy, we are mostly learning lap style, which is where the drum sits on your lap. So I recommend 12-inch, 14-inch, or 16-inch for lap style. You don't really want to go bigger than that if you're going to be practicing for a while, because what happens is your left hand sits up here, and if you have a bigger drum, you're going to be playing like this and you're going to really start to feel it in your body. So I recommend a smaller one. This is either a 12 or 14, and this is a really nice size. I love playing with this one. So this is a Remo. Remo's a great brand. I have a lot of drums that are Remo, and it's a Fiberskyn drum, so it's not real. Now the beautiful part of having a Fiberskyn is that they're really easy to maintain. I take this traveling with me. I don't have to worry about tonality and texture changes, which is something that you do have to, consider when you get a real skin drum. Is depending on the weather, the skin will tighten or loosen, and there's ways to work with that. You can get a cloth and wet it with warm water and rub it on the skin. That will help kind of loosen it. So there's ways around it, but if you create a song on your drum and it's to the root note of the drum, and then you travel somewhere and it changes, then you might be, working with different flavors in that way. So I love real skin. I do have a couple of real skin drums. They're super powerful and potent. And I know that if you make your own real skin drum, that's a really powerful ceremony too. So real skin drums are fantastic if that's the way you want to go. Otherwise, this is going to be the most basic, easy, effortless drum that I'm going to recommend. If you're just starting and you don't want a high maintenance drum, Remo Fiberskyn, 12, 14, or 16-inch. And again, I think this is a 14. It's either 12 or 14. All right. And this is going to be probably around super affordable. It's probably like $40. So 40 to 70 range that you can get a Remo Fiberskyn that's this size. The one thing about these is that not every drum's note is the same. So if that's something that's really important to you, then you might want to invest in a higher quality drum, which I'll get to. Otherwise, when you buy this drum, you get the note that it just is. So it's just something to think about. Otherwise, this is going to be a really great basic drum, which is why I wanted to start with it first. Remo Fiberskyn. Now you can see here, it's designed to be a frame drum because it has the notch here in it. And the great thing about the frame drums is that if you could hear, there's a little bit of resonating reverb that happens, so you can sing in these drums, which is really, really nice and a beautiful benefit to the frame drum. And then the notch here is for when you play upright style, which is where you're standing or playing like this. Okay, so that's that. This has a really nice sound to it. So the reason why I like this is you get all the texture of the hits, the snaps, the tonality, the dooms. So this is honestly a great drum to start with. Okay, so that's that one. Now let's talk about, this is also a Remo. And this is a Renaissance head. So the first one was a Fiberskyn head. This is a Renaissance. So the sound is going to be a little more acoustic, a little more reverb. Again, you can sing into this. It also has the notch on it here. The difference with the Renaissance head is that the sound is going to be a little like tarier. All right, so you'll hear it. right, so one thing I love about the Renaissance head and the Fiberskyn is that these brushes are nice and crisp. They're loud. You can really hear them nicely. Yeah, so this is a good thing. The Renaissance head, the snaps can be a little bit loud, you know, but that's also can be a great element to have to it as well. So the Renaissance head can be a great way to go as well. It's probably, you can find one around, you know, $50 to $100 range. And this one is a 16-inch. All right, so you can see the size difference here. Yeah, so this one is 16. Yeah. All right, so that's the Renaissance head. Okay, so now I just want to talk about the buffalo drum really quickly, because this is typically also known as a medicine drum, but this typically comes with a mallet, the stick that has the little cloth on the end, and you bang it in the middle. I don't happen to have my mallet with me at this time, but normally that's what that's for, is the mallet. All right, and so it has the, you know, the weaving on the back, and if you know, made your drum, you made a medicine drum with real skin, this is definitely probably what it's gonna look like. Okay, so you can grab it on the back. So this is great for standing, for sitting. Now this isn't really a frame drum, but I really love to play my buffalo drum like a frame drum. And the reason why is because the sound is a little bit more muted. It's a little bit softer. And sometimes that's exactly what the song or the drumming calls for. And I actually will teach quite a bit on my buffalo drum. So you can hear already the brushes are a lot softer. They're muted, right? Whereas the first two, you could hear the brushes a lot louder. So you can also hear that the snaps are a little bit more muted too. So you get that crispness, but again, that sound is a little bit quieter. All right, so if you are someone who wants to be able to have a buffalo drum and also play it like a frame drum, have a little bit more of a muted sound, then the Remo buffalo drum is a great way to go. And really any buffalo drum, this just happens to be a Remo. This is pretty affordable. I think this is around $40. The one thing is I've noticed when I've traveled with this is you want to be careful about, you know, putting pressure on the skin of the drum, any drum you have, because it could change the tightness of it. So other than that, these are really easy to maintain, super great drums, and you can also play the mallet with it. All right, so that's the buffalo drum. And then the last drum I want to share with you is if you're you know, you really want to invest in a higher quality drum. These are Cooperman drums. They're super beautiful. And you can hear already, hey, 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 hey. You get the really loud resonance here. So super fun to sing into these frame drums. This one here, it has the thicker wood, so it has the notch down below. So if I were to hold it upright, it'd be like that. Otherwise, I love to play this on my lap. This is a Ebony Suede Cooperman. It is 18 inches, and Coopermans are fantastic. They are higher quality drums, so if you're, you know, a musician, you wanna go really far with your drum, or you just want a high quality drum, these are really amazing. You'll see here they're gonna be higher maintenance. These pegs in here tune your drum, which is, you use this thing to tune your drum. So, you know, that's something to consider. It can be a beautiful process to tune your drum. And these are gonna range, this one I think was around $4.85. It's somewhere in that range. So depending on what size you get, depending on the head of the drum is going to depend on the difference, but these are definitely going to be more of an investment, and you're going to be spending more than $100, whereas you can get any of these other drums pretty much for under $100. So that's the Cooperman Ebony Suede 18-inch. So that's going to be that. So I hope that was helpful for you. And you really can't go wrong. You know, that's the beauty of getting a drum. And again, just to simplify, if you're someone that's like, I just want a drum, I'm just really excited. Remo Fiberskyn is really affordable, really easy to maintain, and the size is going to be really nice to start working and playing with. Otherwise, you have all these other different options. Yeah, the buffalo drum that has a little bit more of the muted sound, the Renaissance head, which is a little bit more of a tar sound, a little more acoustic, a little louder, and then the Cooperman, which is going to be a higher quality drum, and you're going to get a lot of sound out of that, and it's really, really great to sing in as well. One last thing about the buffalo drum, I didn't really talk about this yet, is that, you know, hey, 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 you don't get so much of a resonance here just because of the way it's made. Whereas, you know, in these frame drums, you can sing in them a little bit more and get to play with that. So that can be something that's fun. So just to keep in mind that about the buffalo drum. Now you probably understand why I have so many drums. And again, these are only 4. I have like 5 more drums in my actual house. So I like to have all the different textures and tonalities, and each one will call me for different reasons. So I hope that was helpful for you, and many blessings on finding your drum.